because this is just a total surprise live stream that we're throwing up here in the layout room. So I'm just going to kind of hang out for a little bit before I start talking about everything. So hope you guys are having a good Friday. We had snow last night into this morning, so we were out shoveling. I just got out of the shower, so we're pretty much done for the day. I did some work this morning. I'll talk about all of that. This live stream today is just kind of a preview for Sunday's big live stream. We've got a lot going on this weekend. We got a train display to go see tomorrow, which we're hoping to get a bunch of videos to add some extra content. These guys run some really good engines, so we've seen them at some of the train shows, so we're going to go tomorrow to go do that. We're not going to do it live, but we'll just get a bunch of videos. So we are just kind of hanging out here today. I thought I would do a little talk session about what's transpired here, what's getting ready to happen. Things are progressing very nicely. Today, like I said, I worked on the rolling stock. I started adding a bunch of weights to the cars. I'm not going to show any of that going until Sunday, but I've got 2 trains with like 5-6 cars each that I'm testing with right now. I found out with the testing that I definitely have an issue with my inside track right on this curve, so I'm going to have to flatten that curve. I'm going to have to shorten the track and flatten the curve and get rid of the big tight, this bulge that's over here and get it more flat. So once I do that, I have to do that because that inside track is primarily where I'm going to be running my passenger trains. And those, you can handle short cars, no problem. You can handle the engine, no problem. But I was trying to run stack cars on it, and the car would rock trying to get around it. It'd come back down and settle back down, no problem. But I can just see that taking over cars behind it, and eventually it'll just all tip over. So I'm going to work on this right here. And I've got a few areas I noticed is the diesels don't show it, but the cars do on some of my joints between where the flex track comes together. Real clicking and stuff and a little bit of wiggle. So I've got to get in there with the Dremel and straighten some things up a little bit and get all that worked out. But it's only in like 2 or 3 spots around here. But by and large, the middle, the outside tracks are running really good. So that's what we'll be running on Sunday. Like I said.
Ladies, say hello.
Who?
Leah and Lady.
Oh, well, welcome. Glad you joined us. We're just talking about our big preview for Sunday's big live stream. So we're in the layout room, and normally I'm sitting over here about 3 feet, but that's the big surprise for Sunday, so I'm not going to show any of that. We'll talk about it, but I'm not going to show any of it until Sunday. So
Dan says good afternoon.
Who?
Dan.
Oh, hey Dan. Glad you joined us. We're just doing a short. For me, we're doing a short today, live stream. Normally these run anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Today we're just doing a little half-hour gab session here, talking about what I've completed over the past couple of days. Well, this week since our last in the train room live session, which was last weekend. We did have a live session on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember which, but we had the camera in there on the printer, on the 3D printer, showing some really cool pieces that are right up here. Can't see it just yet. So, but anyway, Sunday's going to be a really cool show. We are right now. My son has finished up working on the 3D print plates for the Leviathan. That's what I've named the tallest building we're going to have. Right now we have the Artemis, the Mako, and we'll have the Leviathan. The Artemis, I'm looking at it right now, it stands about 30 inches tall. The Mako is standing probably about 38, 39 inches tall. And the Leviathan is probably going to be closer to about 42, 43 inches tall. I'm going to have to start really rethinking my lights up above because I'm almost reached my lights. By the time I get the Leviathan built, I will be reaching the lights. So I'm going to have to get something more a little recessed up, strip lighting, not these can lights. so that we can get good light on everything, but I have room to let my tall towers go almost to the ceiling. So yeah, the Leviathan's we'll be starting print on it. We'll probably start the Leviathan print today. He's already got the main plate done for the lower section that we just keep expanding to. That'll be probably a total of 3 sections coming to about almost 3 feet just by itself before we head into level 2s and 3.
Dan says, saw that stream, love the bamboo.
Oh, cool. Glad you saw it. Yeah, it's been working hard this week. Everything we got done for the Mako, and now we're well also because this weekend you can't see it, but right now I've got all the I-beams printed to finish up this raised area on the track that the station's going to sit on above the tracks. So we're going to be working on that on Sunday too, and running trains. Now that I've got 2 good main lines going, I'll just turn the trains on. I've got 2 transformers, so we'll power them up and we'll just let them run around while we're doing a bunch of stuff. We might even get to doing some build on the Leviathan. If not, I'll get all of the stuff prepped next week for the Leviathan, and we'll do the build like I've shown you before. We'll start the build for that. That one I'm hoping to have finished. That entire build project we're hoping to have done by the end of next week. This is my son's last week off before he goes back for his spring semester at college, winter spring semester, and he starts not this Monday coming up, but the Monday after this. So we're trying to get as much printed and done as we can, because after that, first couple of weeks is never very busy for them. They're just kind of, everybody's figuring out what they're doing for the classes and stuff. So we should be able to get building number 4 underway at that point.
Aaron asks, are you in Frankfurt or no?
Are we in Frankfurt? No, we are not in Frankfurt. We are in, I'll just, pretty much everybody knows where we are. We're in Beloit, Wisconsin. We're right on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. We're on 3 major interstates.
In the United States.
In the United States, yes, in the United States. So I will never have anything close to what the one in Germany looks like, but we will have a really pretty cool looking, for the size of room I have, we will really have a pretty cool looking city. So one of the things that's changed is this back here behind me. I can go ahead and update you on that. This is the convention center. We were going to have it as a 2-tower affair with a connecting restaurant between them, and this is all going to be convention center. I've decided to go with a single tower and a larger convention building on the back side. Reason for that is I just think 2 towers would just dominate that space just way too much. Plus I've got to deal with the elevated track that's going to be coming through, and I need some room for that. So if I did the 2 towers plus the convention center back behind, then it would just take up way too much space. So that speaking of the elevated track, that is one of the big things that we're going to be working on in the next month. We're going to get the elevated track level finished. So right out here where we have our crossover piece, our suspended piece, as you know, we've talked about it, we're going to make the elevated track a double main line. So I've got to add a second one to it. But it's going to come right out where the camera's sitting. It's going to curve and come right out here, and it's going to come right across here. We're actually going to be doing a double elevated track, because I have decided to go ahead and put a street running. This is new. I haven't talked about this before. We're actually going to have a street running track coming along, probably somewhere like maybe right. I might push the buildings all back a little ways and might put a street running track like right along the front and have a boulevard right here overlooking the lower tracks. So the street running track will go out over here, and it's going to curve over, and it's going to stay at the height of the pink level, the foam level. And above it will be the elevated track, which I can't take the camera over and show you guys, because if I did, you'll see what's going on here, and I'm not going to do that. So, but anyway, next to these 3 main lines that we have right here, we're going to be doing a double level elevated track. It'll have the lower bridge going across will be the pink level, and the upper will be the elevated track. So I'm hoping to get that whole section built right here and start pulling things into it within the next month. Because the goal is within about a month and a half, right there, about a month and a half, 2 months, we're going to have all 3 levels operating as loops. And then I can start to tie them together with the inclines and the helix that we're putting over in the corner. And then I'll know where they're all at, so I'll know what I got to do with the helix levels to get to the different levels.
Helena says hello.
Who? Oh, Helena. No, nice you joined us. We're just talking about upcoming changes to the layout and things like that. We're not going to be on for very long today. This is mostly just a promo for Sunday's big event. Uh, you're going to want to, if you have the wherewithal to be here, you're going to want to come see this on Sunday. This right here has just gone absolutely crazy. This tower that I thought was going to come in kind of, I almost thought it was going to be the size of the Artemis, but it wound up dwarfing the Artemis. I think, yeah, I think it's probably sitting at about 37 to 38 inches tall. And this is in scale, mind you, so that's an enormous building. I don't know, it's probably pushing close to about a 50-story building. Oh, and the Artemis, my son did some work with using negative space tools that he had in the software for the 3D printing. And when he did that, he worked the top stuff. I talked about it with everybody before. Where are those pieces? Here's one of them. So this was one of the pieces for the top of the Artemis. It sits at an angle like this. There's the four longer sides in this. Well, anyway, these bottom window openings we didn't have open. Because it was so thick at the bottom, it just wouldn't work. So he did some playing around with it, and he was actually able to get all of these windows opened up. So we will be able to light the entire top, the penthouse level of the Artemis up with all its own lights, every window, because there's probably 50 windows per side up there. So we'll be able to do some really cool stuff, especially considering that, that's going to be, we're going to be painting that oxidized copper color. So it's going to look really nice with some amber lighting up there with that copper glow. When we get the right lights up here for evening glow, because we're going to put a set of lights right here that have red and orange in them so that we can simulate sunset colors, and I'll have some dimmer switches over there behind where the camera is so we can set light for evening light, so you'll still be able to see some of the colors of the tower and the lights coming in. So that's all coming. So I spent a lot of time at the table this week filing and sanding. These are little panel pieces for the Mako. This is the back wall. This took 3 different sandings and puttying to get it to this stage. And every panel had to be done that way. And we had 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26 of just panels like this. Bigger, these are the small panels, bigger than this. And then the top thing that we printed on Monday, it had to have a lot of sanding done on it. So I spent most of the week sanding all that and getting everything done, and it looks fantastic now. So I look at this thing. I've got pictures taken, and I've been posting them around the web this past week of some of the progress stuff, but I've held off now. I've got some really nice completed pictures with the 2 trains lined up right here that have the cars behind them, with the towers in the background. I'll hold off on posting those until Monday after we have our live stream on Sunday.
Dan says nice.
Oh, thank you, Dan. So we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to finish. This is just this is just an update for Sunday's live feed. So we're gonna have 3 full ovals running within a month and a half, 2 months. So that means we can run approximately 6 trains. We can run 6 trains, all just DC right now. When I get to doing the inclines to where I start connecting all the levels, that's when I'll switch over to DCC. It'll make things a lot simpler, but I'll pick up some cheap power packs and we'll just throw power to each line so that we can just have trains just going crazy through here. That's where the color will be for a while, because I'm not going to get to painting these things until I have everything figured out. I have all of the buildings printed, I have everything in place, I know where it's going to be, and then I can start figuring out the color palette, because I don't want 2 buildings side by side that will wind up being too close to the same colors. So everything's going to be neutral colors anyway. It's all going to be very soft colors. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's either going to be tones of gray, tones of creams, tones of whites, tones of all that kind of stuff. So, but I don't want 2 grays necessarily sitting next to each other, or 2 cream colors sitting next to each other, because you'll think they're part of the same complex. So I've got to get everything built, and then we'll start figuring out colors.
Lady says hi.
Hi, glad you joined us. We're just having a quick little live here, just talking about what we're doing and what we're going to be doing on Sunday. So when we get done printing these other 20 plus skyscrapers that we've got yet to go, and I have them all placed around here, we'll have the tracks obviously running by then because it's going to take us 6 months to get the rest of these skyscrapers in place. Once we've got that done, you'll be able to see great trains running the entire time while we're doing it because I'll have all the levels operating at that point. So we will then we'll start figuring out the paint situation and start working those details out along with window coloring. I've got some really cool. Some buildings may not be lit because I have some very really. You can get it at any Walmart sells it in their party supply place. You can get those foils that are the reflective colors, like the metallic reflective colors. You can get them in the blues, the greens, the reds. They're beautiful. They look like the downtown buildings you see that have the reflective colored windows. So I've got that. I know at least probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 of the big buildings are going to have just reflective windows. Those won't be coming on at night when we turn the lights on and stuff. I'll probably what I'm going to do with that to make them stand out is somewhere down below, maybe above, we'll light them up with little lights that will cascade light onto the side of the building so you'll still be able to see all the colors of the windows. So we'll get it to where they're still visible, but they just won't have interior lighting. But the rest of them all will have the interior lighting. So that's all stuff coming. I thought I'd show you what, I brought my thing in here. I thought I'd show you what the Artemis is gonna, not the Artemis is done. The Leviathan is gonna look like, that we've been working on. It's, like I said, it's gonna be the biggie. So it's not gonna look exactly like this. It's not gonna have the angled corners and things, but it is gonna have a lot of bump outs on the side. And it's gonna look really cool. It's gonna be very different from everything we have going on right here. So it will be, it's gonna be a good addition. We've already picked out the others. I've got the tower already picked out for the convention center here. That's going to be the single tower now. So it's just going to be a very good mix of styles, but it'll be very cohesive as far as how it all come together. That's the important thing to me, is making sure that it's just going to look right. So all right, so let's see here. We're on to his thing. Let me get down to the bottom here. Okay, this is the piece right here. Oh, this is actually a Chicago city. Oh no, is this no, that's the downtown skyline. Let me get to the main picture here of the individual building. And I'll show you what it is we're leaving off and what we are adding on. Okay, let's go to it. All right. So I'll ask my son if you can see this on his image. So let's get. I can't enlarge this very well. All right, so this is the this will be the Leviathan. So all those little corner things you see, those little round corners aren't going to be there, but there's going to be some extra detailing that's going to go up the sides. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see how short and squat this is. So he's designing it right now to where it's going to basically be, well, I went to Google for some reason.
Oh no. Yeah, switch over to Google.
I don't know why I did that. Well, anyway, I think I had it up there long enough for people to see it before I probably hit something on the screen.
No, it wasn't there very long.
It wasn't? Okay. So we will get to it, and I'll do it one more time. This guy's files are interesting. Great looking buildings, but they're a single file. So my son's having to tear everything apart. He has to get all the walls completely taken off and worked with to where everything works well. That's the bad part. Okay. All right, do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the Leviathan is going to be like. That's really short and squat. multiply that by about 6 times, 7 times in height, stretching out the sides in the different sections, and that's what you've got. That's what we're going to have. So the printing will start on that later today through tomorrow, probably even a little bit Sunday before the live stream. And then probably between Monday and Tuesday, we'll be wrapping up the rest of the pieces. Fortunately on this one versus the Mako, the window walls are all at the same height or surface. I don't have, like on this one, I'll show you, this is what the problem was, is this piece right here is higher up than this piece. And this is even lower, these ones here. So when I sanded, I had to sand this part first, then I had to scrape these, and then I had to put the putty here. I don't have to do that on the Leviathan. It's all one level. It's all on one surface. So that'll save, I can't even tell you how much time that's going to save. Because that's what killed this thing. I would have had this thing done probably a week ago had I not had to go in, excuse me, and do all that extra sanding. So that's where we are. So again, we've got cars. I've been testing today. I've been weighting the cars. I'm using, if you're curious, this is what I'm using for N scale. These are fishing weights for your fishing line. Putting about 5 or 6 in each car. That's gonna be some pretty good weight. I don't know what the NMRA standards are for N scale on weight. I don't really care. I'm just making them to where they feel like they're going to keep the train stretched out when they're going. I'm not going to make them like a pound a car each, but I'm making them definitely comparable to what my dad would weight his as. He was HO, so I'm obviously only half the weight, so I'm trying to figure that out, but it'll be close enough for me. So we're getting all that done. I got half the cars weighted today. I'll get the other half done probably tomorrow. We're going to go see that train event, the train show. It's not really a show, but it's where they've got a display. And then I've got a guy coming to the house tomorrow to buy a bunch of train stuff out of my dad's collection. So we'll be doing that. But in between, I'll be finishing up getting the cars ready for Sunday. So Sunday is going to be a fun day. We'll be running stuff, like I said. I do have a crane kit here. It's an HO crane kit. I might wind up putting that together on Sunday. It's HO, but I'm going to scale the cab down. I really like the boom arm, how big it is. I figured once I get about a half a dozen of these big buildings in, I'll put it up back behind, like, something is being built back there. The other thing we're going to do is we found some really good files for the boom arms that come across, the ones that are on the top of the building. So we're going to print off about 2 or 3 of those. And then we'll actually have some of the buildings in progress when we're printing.
Split shot?
Do what?
Dan asks split shot?
Split shot. I don't know what that means. Okay, so if he comes back with that, let me know. But so we will we'll have that with the cranes on some of the towers that are under work, so it'll look like our city's constantly being built. So we'll have a crane on this wall. We'll have a crane pretty much on each wall on some building. Because like I said, we've got another 20 buildings we have left to go. So we'll always have something in the works. So anyway, that's where we're at. It was exhausting this week on this tower. That standing just with the arm and the shoulder, that was really something. So that's why we're really looking for buildings that are going to be easier for me to get sanded and get cleaned up. The Artemis was easy. It was solid flat sides. The trim that was on it, we were able to take off, print separately, and I'll glue back on later. If I ever do glue it back on, because I really like how that building looks. I'm looking at it right now, if you're wondering why I'm just staring off into space, because I'm looking at the 2 massive buildings that are sitting right here. So,
it says fishing weight.
Oh, yes, they are fishing weights. They are what I'm using. Yes, you're right, split shot. I didn't even look at the bag. I just bought it at Walmart. I got a 22 pack is what I got. Size 5 is what I have for them. So, because that fits inside the bodies of the N scale. When I was looking at them, I figured that would probably work, and they do. And they also work inside containers, which are even narrower than the bodies of the cars. So it works out pretty good. I put them between 3 to 5 in each car, depending upon how big the car is and what weights were already inside it to begin with. So It really helped the wiggle, and you can definitely tell when the trains are going. You can see the ones that I haven't put any weights in; they're just shaking back and forth, and the other ones are just tracking beautifully and smooth. So everything will be weighted eventually. Everything will be weathered too. So you're going to see an intermix on Sunday of cars that are weathered and those that aren't. And there will not be an unweathered car on my layout. Everything will have some sort of weathering on it, and most will have graffiti. So it'll look just like it does that you see every day now.
Dan says, good job, guys, perfect.
Oh, well, thank you, Dan. All right, so I think that's about all I really needed to talk about today, unless you guys have some questions. I pretty much have covered everything that happened this week. Like I said, I'm sitting over here so we don't give away the secret for Sunday. Not secret, but the reveal of Sunday, because you guys know what is being built over here. You already saw some of it earlier in the week, but not to this level. So anyway, please do come back on Sunday. We will be here. I think we're gonna start at, like we did last week, at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll probably go till between 2 and 3 Central Standard Time. So 3 to 4 hours, maybe less, depends upon how much work I figure out I want to work on during that day. If anything, if we just want to, if you guys have a lot of questions, you want to talk and see the trains running or something, on the track I'm not working on this inside track over here where I know I don't have to do any corrections, I may do some ballast work. So you can see how I do the ballasting. So we may just wind up doing that. So yeah, and of course working on the station area right here. So I think I've got an idea for how I want to really. I don't know if we told you guys. I'll hint at it, but I'm not sure. I don't know if we kind of had an idea about it when we were just kind of spitballing ideas. I don't remember if it was last time we had a live or if it was just this week when we were in the room. Something really cool is going to be sitting by the station. That I'll give you a hint. London has one. Navy Pier has one in Chicago. So you'll probably guess just off of those two things right there as to what it is, and are going to make it fairly decent sized and maybe even operational. So if we can, I was looking for some online. I couldn't find any really ones I liked that were operational, but I did find STL files for them. But none of them were motorized, but I probably can figure that out, just using some gears and working some threading and stuff to make it happen. So we will work on making an area for that, because that's going to look really good right in this area right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. Like I said, this was going to just be a quick live session just to give you an update about everything that was happening this week and let you know we were still here, and that Sunday will be the big day. So I hope you guys can join us on Sunday. It's going to be really cold here for us, so we're going to try to get as much done as possible. We're looking at this is the coldest air of the season, Sunday night into Monday. We're looking at I don't know, negatives. I saw 15, 20 with the wind chill. So
Dan asks Ferris wheel.
who did?
Dan.
Yeah, that'll be a Ferris wheel. So I figured by just saying London and Navy Pier and Chicago, people were going to probably get it. But yeah, we're going to put a big Ferris wheel up here, a sightseeing Ferris wheel. I think next to the station and here mixed in with all these big downtown buildings, I think that'll be a really cool, because we'll light the whole thing up. I'll put all kinds of bulbs in it, and like I said, I'll see if I can get it to work. If I can find a file that'll work, give me the gearing that I need for it. But if not, it may just be a stationary thing. But we'll see. I'll see if I can do that. So yes, so that is what's coming.
Dan says can't wait to see the crane.
Yeah. Like I said, it's an HO crane that we're going to start off with from Kiwi right now, that I can just put in the background, have a big long boom arm, white boom arm. I'll hang some I-beams from it. And then we found the STL file, like I said, for the ones that attach to the top of the buildings that go up with them. And we'll just stagger those around the builds that we're doing. Because once we really start kicking in on this, and we have multiple buildings going at the same time, they'll be going up at different rates. And so we'll have it where we, kind of like we did with the Mako, where we had several levels on it, but it wasn't finished. We'll just stick the crane on the back. We'll have it to where it's weight balanced, so that I can just set it on top. So it looks like that building is under construction. So it'll just because just some neat details. I know I total waste of filament and everything else and build time, but I think it'll be a really cool end to have in here for doing it. And at the end, we'll probably have like maybe one or two of the skyscrapers that will stay with the cranes on them that we'll just have as a scenery feature, so that it just looks kind of cool in the city, that the city will constantly be growing. So,
Bruce Andre says hello.
hi, Bruce.
No, Bruce.
Oh, Bruce, okay. You caught us right at the last minute. We're just getting ready to wind down because Sunday's gonna be our big one. I wanted just to let everybody know that has been following us, that we have been busy this week. And I'd like to show the layout, but I'm not going to because that'll spoil the surprise for Sunday. Because I'm right here looking at it, and I'm gonna give you an idea. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but that right there, the building is taller than that we just finished by a good foot. So that gives you an idea of what's sitting over here in this corner. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, so look for Sunday around. If you want to see it, be sure you haven't yet. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get the notice, because we always put the notice up about half hour, 45 minutes before we go live. That way you'll know. So that might be a good thing to do. And then we'll see you on Sunday. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and we'll answer them this weekend before Sunday. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you then.